Welcome back to BT Vancouver. Tomorrow, of course, marks Remembrance Day, and generally locally, over 20,000 people would gather at the Cenotaph in Vancouver's Victory Square to remember those who have fallen and those who have served and continue to serve our country. It's going to look very different this year. But for more on how we're marking Remembrance Day locally, let's bring in Cam Cathcart right now to detail some of the events that are happening tomorrow virtually. Cam, welcome back to BT.
Good morning, Thor. Good morning.
Now, obviously, because of the pandemic, we want to discourage people from gathering in huge groups, and that's generally when we see the masses down there to pay tribute to the fallen on Remembrance Day. So how's it going to look tomorrow with the virtual marking of Remembrance Day?
Thor, it'll be a very abbreviated ceremony. There'll only be 50 people allowed in the whole Cenotaph area. The Cenotaph itself will be fenced off, and there'll be no recognized wreaths, as we call them. That is the public wreaths. The official wreaths will be laid, but the ceremony itself will be pretty well the same, except some of the components will be gone this year for this time only. And what we're doing, as you've mentioned earlier, we're discouraging people from coming to Victory Square, but we are encouraging them to watch it on television or listen to it on live streaming.
And Cam, it's a very special one because it's the 75th anniversary of the end of the Second World War. Why does it have so much impact this year for you personally?
Well, for me personally, it is really a milestone. And, you know, many of our veterans from the Second War are gone. In fact, about 200 a year are dying, unfortunately. And we only have about maybe 10 or 12,000 left. And these men and women are slowly leaving us. They walk a little slower. They're a little on the vulnerable side. But the other thing I want to mention here quite quickly, Thor, is that we're facing another war right now, as you well know, the pandemic war. And it's dreadful. And it's taking the lives of a lot of vulnerable people as well.
It's a good reminder there. Cam, the nature of warfare has changed so much over the decades when we look at how interconnected the world has become. Why is it so important to remind young people and this next generation about all those who fought and served in both great wars, to really remind them of our country's history and legacy?
One of the most important things to keep in mind for any person, especially the young people, is that the marvelous freedom that we all enjoy in Canada today is due to a lot of the people, like you just mentioned, who sacrificed their lives or came back a little wounded, but they did contribute. And those who came back whole, they helped to build our country. And sometimes countries have to stand up, and we have done so for the last 100 years or so. And Canada's like that. We have to remain resilient, and we have to remain vigilant. That's why it's so important to maintain our freedom.
And Cam, as we close it out, just tell us how the Vancouver Remembrance Day Committee, which has been around for decades, continues to preserve that legacy and help us all remember all those people that serve and continue to serve.
In a word, it's teamwork. As a matter of fact, we started late in July of this year to plan for tomorrow's event. And it took a long time because most of the situation, as you know, was all done virtually, which is always a bit of a handicap. But nevertheless, it's a good team we have. We're working always very hard. We try to improve things as we go along, but we also like to maintain the traditions of Remembrance Day, which I think we will do so tomorrow.
All right, even though we can't get down to the Cenotaph in person, we will be tuning in virtually to mark all the services and ceremonies for Remembrance Day. Cam, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
All right, you have a great day. That's Cam Cathcart with the Vancouver Remembrance Day Committee, and we'll be back with more